we would meet at the police station in Ontario, because at this time we were still living in Rancho Cucamonga, and they were going to school up there. It was very hard to implement these visitations. He was afraid. Then he started becoming violent. So at one of the visitation meetings, he attacked his father inside of the police station, refusing to get into the car. Another, I had to chase him around the parking lot. He just refused to get in and was running in between restaurant, the 24-hour fitness center, just grabbing onto poles, and I'd have to pry him and force him to get into the car. And it was hard because I knew it was wrong, but I didn't want to violate the visitation order, right? But imagine, like, he told, and why did he have to go back at all? So I just remember, like, sitting in the parking lot just sobbing, like, and I'd just wait for the hour or two to pass, and then take them home. But that was the most regrettable part of this whole thing, because leaving them in the care of their father and their grandmother, because they were saying that grandma wasn't diligent on making sure they weren't alone with their dad, or that my son was able to go to the bathroom alone with his father, and he claimed that that's where he was being threatened. My daughter claimed that she had been slapped, and then told by their grandmother that they were going to hell for telling me what they had told me. I brought this before the court and asked for supervised, paid supervised visits by a professional. That was not heard or granted, and eventually we just stopped going. And I think it may have been a break for everyone, because he did not push visitation at all. It just stopped happening. Because it wasn't healthy for anyone involved. I mean, it was a constant, like, fight, an emotional ordeal every week. So then harassment started at our home. Every time I looked out the window, we lived along this bike path, but I would notice, like, men and women would, like, walk off the path, and there was grass in between. They'd walk off the path up to the gate and just be, like, either holding onto the bars or just staring in front of the bars at our house directly. And I was thinking, if every time I look out the window I happen to notice this, what's going on when I'm not? And so I installed cameras outside the back of the house, which was actually where the front door was, but you entered in from the complex, like, in the garage. So all around the home I had cameras. The day of installation, I was also visited by the Rancho Cucamonga PD. Their detectives came, and he asked for a case number, which I thought was very odd, because it would have been very easy for him to look that up or to just call Riverside Sheriff's Department for that. But my neighbor told me that they had been, like, staking out the whole area, like, all day, and before knocking on my door and talking to me. So that evening, men show up in these bikes, and they pull down all the cameras. I have footage of them doing this because I happen to have, like, live feed on my laptop, and I caught I had screen recording going, so it was like a backup of the backup, and I caught these men and their faces and their bikes going around pulling the cameras down. This scared me so much. I didn't want to go to sleep at night anymore after this event, and it had a very negative effect on my life. But more on that later.